A domestic terrorist. APD Interim Chief Brian Manley is the first official to publicly give the Austin bomber that title.
The Night Beat's Jason Puckett was there for today's announcement. And Jason, the chief waited quite a while to say what so many others already have.
That's exactly right, Mike and Quita. But Chief Manley points to a lengthy, intense investigation as the reason he waited until today to use that title. As officials closed in on Mark Condit last week and the city began to realize the bombings could be over, a question kept popping up. Why aren't we calling him a terrorist? Well, some were. Professor Jeremy Surrey.
I think that what we saw in Austin this week and last couple of weeks was an act of terrorism.
And Stratford analyst Fred Burton.
And I certainly would call him a domestic terrorist.
But no officials publicly agreed until more than a week after the bomber's death.
I am now believing and comfortable saying that this was a domestic terrorist.
Manley addressed questions like, why did it take so long?
I was very, very focused on the investigation, focused on identifying the suspect, and putting a stop to the violence.
Does he believe Condit had motivations?
No, if we look specifically to the ideological reasons, that still does not exist based on what we have right now.
And finally, how could he use the term before any other official?
I really don't want to get logged down in just the four corners of a document and a description. I have heard from my community. I have understood how this has impacted them, and that's why I have responded how I have.
So why does this matter, especially if Condit is dead?
What that word does then, it creates this buzz in people, and it reacts to them. Oh, terrorism. Oh, well, it's worse than a criminal.
Attorney George Lobb.
It's a certain type of criminal that's worse than the word criminal itself.
Lobb says had Condit lived, Manley's announcement could have sparked a change in a trial and charges.
By getting the reaction of it, you influence public opinion and pretty much increase your chance and increase your chances of conviction. Not like it would have been hard in this case anyway.
Now, even with Chief Manley's announcement, this is still a complex title. Condit's actions do meet multiple definitions of terrorism, but not all of them. And that means it could take some time for other officials to call him the same if they ever do. Mike and Quita?
Thanks, Jason.